In July, Saudi Arabia delivered a bid book to host the FIFA World Cup in 2034, revealing that NEOM will be one of the host cities. To confirm this, FIFA required the kingdom to give real specifics and commit to firm deadlines. So what does this mean for NEOM, the futuristic city we've all been hearing about? And what does it reveal about the stadiums and the 2034 FIFA World Cup? Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to Giga Projects, where we cut through the PR fluff in order to give you the juicy details behind gigantic construction projects. When we studied the bid book, we realized that the World Cup in Saudi won't just be a celebration of football. It's going to be the grand world premiere of the nation's Vision 2030 program. Plus, by diving into the fine print, we figured out some jaw-dropping stuff about the line. So, if you're curious about what the kingdom has in store for NEOM, Vision 2030, and what revolutionary stadiums are in the works, you've come to the right place. The 2034 World Cup will be held in the host cities of NEOM, Jeddah, Riyadh, Abha, and Khobar across 15 stadiums. Out of these, 10 will be brand new, while the 5 existing stadiums are being completely renovated. What's impressive is that the 5 revamped stadiums, designed by the renowned architecture firm Populous, look almost as cutting edge as the 5 new ones they've designed for the World Cup. For comparison, take a look at the stadiums for the 2030 World Cup in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, such as Camp Nou in Barcelona. This venue shows traditional stadium design. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's about as futuristic as grandma's flip phone. In contrast, the Prince Mohammed bin Salman Stadium in Riyadh, designed by Populous, represents a leap into the future. Its angular design and advanced materials like iridescent glass, LED screens, and shimmering metal looks like it was transported from the year 3000, or straight out of Tron. The 3-sided bowl enhances the spectator experience and frames stunning views of the two white cliffs. Let's compare apples to apples. Populous has also been hired to design a stadium in Casablanca, but while it looks like Morocco asked for a tent-like design, MBS apparently said, "Let's put my name on it and make it look like we're hosting the Galactic Senate." Now let's take a tour of these stadiums. Each one will be a portal into Saudi Arabia's dream of the future. We're not just talking football here. The stadiums are part of the Vision 2030 Giga Projects, Saudi's master plan to revolutionize everything. From sustainable living through planting trees and creating parks, to the future of entertainment and theme parks, over to how to master plan entire city districts and attract millions of tourists per year. First up, the Megaparks. These parks will be where most of the World Cup public viewing will be. Here's King Salman International Stadium, which will host the opening and final matches. It's part of King Abdulaziz Park, which will be a green space covering over 4.3 square kilometers. That's bigger than Monaco. There isn't just a stadium, it's a whole sports complex. We're talking an arena, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, an athletics track, and outdoor courts for volleyball and basketball. It's like they're building their own mini Olympics village. South Riyadh Stadium will be in an as-yet unannounced park of the Green Riyadh project. They'll be using treated wastewater to irrigate the city, going from 90,000 cubic meters of recycled water in 2019 to 1 million cubic meters in 2030. They'll have more than 3,300 smaller neighborhood parks and 43 large city parks. The Green Riyadh program aims to plant 7.5 million trees across the city. That's almost 1 tree per person, which is going to build green spaces that add up to bigger than 10 central parks. It's like they're trying to turn the desert into the Amazon, 1 stadium at a time. Next, let's talk about entertainment. A few of these new stadiums will help with the Vision 2030 plans to turn Saudi into one of the entertainment capitals of the world, and they'll build theme parks and crazy sci-fi cities around them. New Maraba Stadium features a design inspired by the layered bark of the native acacia tree. It will be a central feature in the New Maraba district, a key Vision 2030 project aimed at transforming Riyadh into the world's largest modern downtown. It's part of a district that includes a 400-meter-high cube-shaped skyscraper called the Macabre, because when you think modern downtown, you naturally think giant Borg cube, right? Just kidding, it's not the Borg, because on the inside is a holodeck. As their own video says, "Welcome to the future,
where you and those around you enter a new reality, transporting you to Mars one day and magical worlds the next."
Resistance is futile.
Nah, it's really the Borg. The Mohammed bin Salman Stadium will become a key landmark inside the Qiddiya development, an ambitious entertainment city near Riyadh. After the World Cup is over, it will host various events from football matches to concerts, esports, and augmented reality, all part of Qiddiya's plan to become the world's largest entertainment hub. The Qiddiya Coast Stadium is part of a project to turn Jeddah's coast into a tourist hotspot, because nothing says beach vacation like a massive football stadium, right? The Qiddiya Coast project is just a miniature version of the Qiddiya project near Riyadh that's a true giga build. At launch, it will be the second biggest theme park in the world, bigger than Disneyland LA or Disneyland Paris. In addition to the stadium, they're building a golf course, a Six Flags amusement park, and a Dragon Ball theme park, a racetrack, and a water park with a giant wave machine. The thing I'm most excited about is this insane roller coaster called Falcon's Flight. It's set to be the fastest coaster in the world, hitting speeds of 250 kilometers per hour. That's faster than most cars on the Autobahn, and probably faster than you want to be going when you're dangling from a metal track hundreds of feet in the air. And hopefully, the windscreens will stay attached, or you'll be speeding through sandy desert air and getting the world's strongest exfoliation treatment.
What's really exciting to us isn't just the stadiums that are going to be built in existing cities. It's the brand new cities that are going to be built around brand new stadiums.
Roshan is part of a project to build 400,000 homes. This 46,000-seat stadium is meant to be the heart of a new walkable garden community. It'll glow in the night sky like a big old nightlight for the whole neighborhood. Roshan is the kingdom's biggest housing developer, creating whole new city districts which prioritize pedestrians and community living. You might ask, how are they going to pay for all of this? Well, more than half of the stadiums are owned by the corporations who are developing the city districts around them. The stadiums will increase the value of each of the houses by at least $50,000, and so the people who buy the houses will be paying for the stadiums. Remember, the Saudi version of real estate sales is, if your king wants you to buy a house, you buy a house. The Aramco Stadium in Khobar is inspired by the sea and whirlpools off the Arabian Gulf. It was designed by Populous and is owned by Roshan. Set for completion in 2026, the stadium will host matches for the 2027 Asian Cup. The seating bowl is designed elliptically to aid natural ventilation and provide great views of the pitch. Located at an 80-hectare site, the stadium is at the heart of a master plan that includes residential, retail, and entertainment zones, as well as the sports facilities. The King Abdullah Sports City Stadium was built in 2014 and is the second largest stadium in Saudi Arabia. The Madafi Canal will connect the stadium with the Red Sea and create an 11-kilometer walkable community. Jeddah Central Development Stadium blends traditional architecture from the nearby medieval city of Al Balad with a 360-degree LED screen and a semi-translucent roof. It's part of a development that includes an opera house, an oceanarium, 2,700 hotel rooms, and 177,000 housing units. Because why build a stadium when you can build an entire city? The King Abdullah Economic City Stadium is designed to mimic the Red Sea's coral reefs. Speaking of cities, the King Abdullah Economic City Stadium is going to be built in a city that was supposed to house 2 million people and currently has about 7,000. Oops. But hey, nothing revitalizes a ghost town like a shiny new stadium, right? Just think of how easy the parking is going to be. Then again, your tailgate party might be a little lame because alcohol is illegal in Saudi Arabia. Cheers. Let's talk about tourism. Last year, Saudi Arabia welcomed 28 million pilgrims for the Hajj and Umrah. The kingdom wants to continue serving those pilgrims, but also become one of the tourism capitals of the world. King Khalid University Stadium in Aba is getting a major upgrade for the World Cup. Capacity is shooting from 12,000 to 45,000, with infrastructure upgrades that maintain its historical charm. They're not just stopping at the stadium. Think new tech, fancy training facilities, and spots for tourists to get their outdoor fix. But don't take my word for it, I'll let this nice lady tell you all about it.
Winding through heritage sites and natural terraces, a genuine escape from urban life. This preserved cultural landscape is filled with unexpected pleasures. From fine dining adventures at organic farms, to indulging yourself in tasting locally produced coffee and honey.
One of the most exciting things about the World Cup packet is what it tells us and what we can figure out about the line.
Let's talk about the highest football pitch in the world. The stadium inside the line is going to be 350 meters up the building. Imagine being as far off the ground as the Stratosphere in Las Vegas with 46,000 of your closest friends and a couple of world-class football teams. Below the stadium, you've got 4 more practice fields, media rooms, team spaces, kitchens, the whole shebang. But, you ask, how will people get there? The bid book makes a firm promise on a still unannounced airport to the east in the high desert. They're forecasting that the airport will service 12 million travelers per year by 2034, so it's not a dinky little regional. From the airport, they say their train line, called the Spine, will get you to Neom City in 25 minutes. If we assume that a high-speed train takes 5 minutes to accelerate and decelerate, that means the top speed will be 350 kilometers per hour. Chinese high-speed trains are currently doing that, so we think that's a realistic number. When people talk about the line, they're often talking about a gigantic, improbable 170-kilometer long city. But here's an older plan, which was only 4 kilometers long. The real plan is for Saudi to pay for 2.4 kilometers, and they want outside investors for another 1.6 kilometers. They haven't found any outside investors yet, so it's just 2.4 kilometers for now. That section of Neom City is also called the Hidden Marina. It's going to have a man-made canal from the Red Sea that allows yachts and cruise ships to literally go through the line under a structure that they're calling the Chandelier. It'll be cooler than the Colossus at Rhodes, one of the 7 great wonders of the ancient world. Every cruise ship and super yacht in the Eastern Mediterranean will want to give their passengers the majestic experience of traveling under the Chandelier. It's easy to go through the Suez Canal, and everyone who's anyone will want to check it out. 2 other things that have been confirmed by the FIFA bid book are the public viewing areas at the Marina and the Marina Steps.
But here's a scoop. We think we figured out that Mohammed bin Salman is gearing up to create the most amazing sports viewing environment in the history of the world. Follow along as we lay this out for you.
The bid website features an infographic of Neom City, which highlights key sections of the line without explaining most of them. But we also have access to older versions, which we'll refer to as the original plans. The bid book says that the Marina Steps will be near the convention center, while the Marina public viewing is within the line itself. In the original plans, there is a convention center here at the end, which corresponds to what we see in the picture. Now, we're going to overlay the infographic from the bid website, and we can clearly see that the Marina Steps must be across the water, near the convention center in this orange section of the old plans, conveniently labeled Restaurant and Leisure Activities. Here's the awesome thing. If the Marina Steps are across the water, this would open up an amazing idea. Because the line has a mirror facade, it could be turned into a gigantic TV screen. A screen as tall as 5 football fields and nearly a kilometer wide would be the biggest screen in the history of sports. Or really in the history of anything. Sure, the Burj Khalifa has been showing off with its LED show, but it's too skinny for the big leagues. The line? Tall and wide, baby. Someone watching from 500 meters across the water would feel like they were in IMAX Row 7, but for football. And let's not forget the cruise ships and billionaire yacht owners anchoring 4 kilometers away, because out at sea, those dry laws suddenly become more like try laws, because why not try a cocktail or 2? And hey, Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, 50 kilometers away, you'll still get a glimpse of the action, and we won't blame you if you don't want to buy a ticket. Here's a fun fact. In the original plans, they had already envisioned turning the line's mirrored facade into a giant screen. Can you imagine if they hadn't won the FIFA bid? They'd be stuck projecting Minecraft tournaments and marathon screenings of Dune.
Okay, I thought this was going to be just a short little video, and it's grown. It's just exciting. There's lots of stuff to talk about. I'm going to let you go for now, but we're working on our next video, which will give you more things we figured out about the line. If that sounds cool, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you later. You want me to keep making bad jokes about cool things, hit subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.